Hey y'all, happy Monday. Been walking between buildings, had to go over and clean in the multi-purpose building from safety team yesterday, and man, it's like a wind tunnel. If you in between those two buildings, my hair just went crazy. But hope everybody's having a great Monday, a great start to their week, and I just went back and forth of what to talk about today, and I went with one of the verses that we talked about last night. We talked about joy last night, and how we let things steal our joy, and what things steal our joy, and how we can stop those things from happening. But it took me to James 1:2, and that's where I'm going to start. And James writes this letter to Jewish Christians scattered among the nations. So he's writing it to the Jewish people, but it is for us as well, because what he's talking about is things that we go through as well. It says, "Dear brothers and sisters, whenever trouble comes your way, let it be an opportunity for joy." And notice there it doesn't say if, it says whenever, because we're all going to have trouble. Even you can walk and do the very best that you can do. You can be, giving and loving and kind, and you're still going to have struggles. You're still going to have problems. There's always going to be that one person that's waiting for you to fail, and they just can't wait for you to fail so they can say, "See, I told you so, I told you so, I told you guys that's not who that person is, or I told you guys that was happening and you wouldn't listen to me." Those types of things are difficult. But it says, whenever trouble comes your way, let it be an opportunity for joy. How do we make that an opportunity for joy? We talked about this at length last night. How do you make it? How do you make your trouble an opportunity for joy? How do you, when you feel like you're at rock bottom, how do you make that an opportunity for joy? And that's when you allow the Lord to step in. When you say, "Lord, I can't do this. My heart needs you. I don't see any joy in this. Help me to find the joy in this." Sometimes it's just hard to find the joy. Sometimes we talked about it last night. If you're not coming to ladies group, you need to come, because we have some really good conversations. We have some really, really good studies, and I just feel like I'm always better when I leave, because pouring into one another is what it's all about. And lifting one another up, that's what it's about. Verse 3, "For when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow." So we have that endurance, we have that chance to grow. We have that ability to grow in our knowledge of how good God is, to grow in our knowledge of His Word, to grow in our knowledge of how in this season of life that has been very, very difficult, we've had the chance to grow through that. Or whatever season you're in. You're having an amazing season. You're in that abundant season. Whatever that season is that you're in, you have the chance to grow. And that's what He wants us to do. And in my notes yesterday morning, one of the things that I said is as I was taking notes, I was like, "Thank you, Lord, for wanting me to change, for changing me, and for growing me. Thank you that you love me enough to want that for me." And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for what God does for me. I just can't even begin to say, even in the hardest season, He has been so good to me. And I'm so thankful for that. Verse 4, "So let it grow. Let Him grow you. Let Him do these things through you." Yes, we want to put our hands in everything, and we want to be in control. We all know someone who is an absolute control freak. They need to be in control of every aspect of their life, of other people's lives, because that's how they function. That's the only way that they see it. They manipulate, they do things to get their way, they act like the victim when they're the one that caused the chaos, whatever it may be. But that's not what God wants. He wants to be in control. He wants to grow us. He wants to mature us. He wants to increase our faith, increase our knowledge, increase our wisdom. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be strong in character and ready for anything. So everything that you're going through makes you ready for anything. Sometimes we go through things that we think we will never survive, but we get through them, and the next thing we know we're talking to somebody who's just starting in what we just went through. The Lord works that out. The Lord moves, and the Lord changes, and and we can say, I walked in those shoes, and this is how the Lord helped me. This is what the Lord did for me. That's not to say that we need to sit on our blessed assurance and say, okay, Lord, do whatever it is you want me to do. Just do it. Whatever. That's not it. We have to put feet to it. We have to put faith to it. We have to get out and do what he's asked us to do. I told him last night, 3 Fridays ago, the Lord asked me to do something. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Nope, I can't. I can't, not right now, Lord. My heart's, it's too fresh, And the following week, it was not the best week I've ever had, but that Friday, as I'm going, the second Friday, 2 Fridays ago, I was going to the bank, and he said, you going to do what I ask you to do? And I said, yes, sir, I am. I will do exactly what you asked me to do. And I did what he asked me to do. Was it uncomfortable? Absolutely. Was it received well? Yes and no. But I did what he asked me to do. And sometimes we want to argue with him and tell him, Lord, I can't do that. And he's trying to say, I'm not asking you to do it. I'm asking you to let me do it through you. Do what I ask you to do. I'll be there. I'll be in the midst of it, and I will help you get through whatever it is I'm asking you to do. I'm learning, and I'm slow at it, to do what he's asked me to do. Be obedient in that, and he will be with me. Is it uncomfortable sometimes? It absolutely is. He doesn't want you to stay in that box that we've all put ourselves in. We're in this little box. This is what I do. This is how I serve. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. He's like, no, I want you to go here. No, I want you to go here. No, I want you to go here. And I am learning, if I just do what he asked me to do and not worry about what somebody's going to say, not worry about what somebody's going to think, not worry about what that person that he's asked me to go serve's reaction is, just do it. It's difficult sometimes, yes. But even in the difficult, and that's one thing I'm definitely learning, even in the difficult, he's right there with you, holding you. By his righteous right hand. He is holding you, and he is fighting those battles with you, for you. He's gone before you, and he is doing mighty, mighty things, but you've got to allow him to do it. You can't lay it down at his feet and take it back up once you lay it down and you don't see anything happening. It's hard to do that, especially for women, because we're fixers. We want everything to be perfect. We want to portray that our life is perfect, and we want everybody to think that we live this perfect, perfect, perfect life. When sometimes what God is asking us to do is stop, raise your hand and say, I'm drowning. I need help. I don't know what to do. And you have people around you that are willing to do that and willing to say, hey, I went through that. And this is how we handled it. This is what we did. This is what me and God did. This is how me and God got through it. He's preparing you for, he wants you to be ready for anything. And when you're obedient to him and you allow him to work through you, that's what's going to happen. So I pray today that you will be obedient. You will listen when he says. And I'm finding out sometimes he sends us to serve the people that we have the hardest time with. But that's okay. If we're doing it because that's what he's told us to do, it's going to be okay. It's going to work. Do we like it? Sometimes we don't. But Jesus didn't say this was going to be a rose garden. We've got thorns. Sometimes we have to push through it. And we have to do what we need to do for Jesus and allow him to receive the glory, not ourselves, not tooting our own horn, not out there saying, well, I did this and I did that and I did. Just going and doing it and not saying another word and just letting God receive the glory. I hope you have a great afternoon. The weather is a tiny bit warmer. I'm just ready for warm weather. Bring me the 80s and 90s. I'm over this cold. I'm over the wind. I'm over it. I'm just tired. And sometimes God does step you out of your comfort zone a little bit. This weekend, Saturday, I went to a ladies only pistol class. And I was very apprehensive about going. I've only shot at the range that we have here. I've only shot with the people that I am around, the safety team, things like that. But I went to this class, and it was in Kiefer. Defensive Shooting Academy is what it is, and Marshall Luton. I would recommend you go take a class from him. They did an amazing job, and it was a lot of fun. And as the day wore on, I got more comfortable and I was relaxed, and I enjoyed getting to meet other people, and it was a great class. I took a lot of notes because I'm just a note taker. I take notes, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed hearing things from somebody else, and learning from somebody else. I like to learn. I like to learn new things. So it was really, really good. So if you've thought about it, he has a pistol. Another ladies only pistol class on May the 11th. The cost is $250, but it's $250 well spent. So if you have the opportunity, go look up Marshall Luton, Luton, but it's a Defensive Shooting Academy, DSA, and Kai was his helper and one of the other instructors, and it was just a great class. And sometimes God just has to push you out of your comfort zone. And it was odd because I had lunch with two of the ladies, and we had so much in common. And we shared stories and we talked, and it was really, really good. And it was a lot of fun. So again, sometimes God pushes us out of our box. It's hard sometimes to do that, but sometimes we need to do that because our box gets too comfortable. We get too lazy, and we don't do what God is asking us to do. So get out of your box. Go do something you've always wanted to do. Go learn something new. Go learn a new skill. Go do something that you've wanted to do. Ask God what that is. God, where would you have me go? God, what would you have me do? And he will do that. So I'm sorry, my phone rang. I thought it was on silent, but just give him an opportunity to get you out of your box. So I hope you guys have a great day. That was a side trail. Sorry about that, but I just had to share that story. Have a great evening. I know baseball, softball, and all that is in full gear. If you're out, be sure you take your coat. Be sure you take your blanket because the weather's crazy. So anyways, have a great day. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. Love you.